Imaginers, thank you for tuning in live. Please let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me okay, make sure everything's good to go. Just go in the live chat and just share that you could hear and see me. If you're watching on Facebook, let me throw this up on the screen real quick. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. If you are watching on Facebook, please know that we are using Restream to power the stream. So before leaving a comment, please grant Restream permission to see your name. You just go to chat.restream.io/FB. That's what you see up on the screen right now, right there. Yeah, that way we have permission to see your name. You only have to do it once. Otherwise, we just see Facebook user, and that's not very helpful for us to address you by your name. So yeah. Okay, so where are you tuning in from? Where are you watching from? Right now, there are a couple people watching. Hopefully, we can get more people watching soon. There we go. And we just got 2 more people. Hop in. All right, so please share where you are watching from in the live chat. We want to know where you're watching from. Now, also, typically, I ask what you are photographing this weekend, but I've got a different question for you. Please post, more of a statement. Please post in the Imagen community photos from your latest job edited with Imagen. And if it was also a talent AI profile, please let us know which it was. I will bring up your photos on the screen for everybody to see and celebrate your awesome photos. So please go ahead and get that. I actually have the community open in a separate tab. And if I see, if you say I, just shared it in the comment, I will go ahead and approve that post and get that up on the live stream. Please get your questions in as well, because this is a Q&A. So I'm going to demonstrate some things. I'm going to share some things, but yeah, please ask any questions that you have about Imagen and things like that. If you have any demo requests or anything like that. If you are watching the replay, or if a friend shared this with you, I'm so happy you are here as well. It's a bummer you couldn't comment live. You'll know you're watching the replay because it will say I was live instead of I am live. And if you're watching the replay, please also comment with the word replay, because we want to know if you're watching this after the fact. So with that said, let's see where we got going on here. Stephanie, good morning, can see and hear you. Thanks for tuning in, Stephanie. I appreciate it. I see we already have one question in here, and I'm going to save the questions. So please keep them coming. I am pinning them in Restream. I can actually add a star and get back to them later. So any questions, I am actually going to be getting those in a little bit. Real quick, I am going to play chapter 2 from our documentary series called Focus on What You Love. And the first video I shared 2 weeks ago, if you might recall, I was away last week. I went on vacation, went to the beach, got a little bit of a tan. You probably can't tell, but I am back, and I didn't have a chance to do a live stream last week because I was away, but we actually released chapter 2 with Susan Stripling last week, and I'm going to play that for you right now. And chapter 3 actually goes live next week. So here is chapter 2 of Focus on What You Love with Susan Stripling.
Hey everybody, I'm Susan Stripling. I am a wedding and portrait photographer based in Brooklyn, New York and Baltimore, Maryland. I have 2 dogs. They are the most lovely, wonderful thing in my life. I'm doing the typical parent thing where my kids go to college and I replace them with pets. If I talk about Chloe too much, I will cry. She is like my emotional support Chloe. And Chloe is so perfect that I decided what could be better than 1 Chloe? It would be 2 Chloes. But I didn't get 2 Chloes, I got Taylor Swift. When I was younger, I thought that success meant that everyone knew who I was. And I was like a really big deal. I just had this weird sort of rock star mentality of what success looked like. Now what I actually realize that success looks like is freedom. It's financial freedom to live my life. It's freedom to pick and choose the jobs that I take. It is a much gentler and softer and kinder version of success than I thought it was. Back in, I think, about 2001, I actually went to school for theater. I didn't go to school for photography at all, but I graduated and realized within about 5 minutes that I didn't actually want a career in theater. My favorite thing about photography is it reminds me of theater. Everything that I love about a 3-act play or a musical, the lighting, costumes, anticipation and reaction of moments, literally everything from the creative side to the performing side of theater. I find that in sort of the singular aspect of taking a photo. I love to do absolutely nothing in my spare time. Now, a large portion of the rest of my days are spent with my daughter who's about to graduate. Again, I can't talk about this too much or I'll cry. She's about to graduate high school and go off to college, so I try to spend time with her. In her busy schedule, I spend time with my boyfriend, I walk the dogs, I read books. So I get asked a lot, what do I have more time to do in my business now that I use Imagen? And the answer is, I don't want to use a tool to give myself time back and then immediately take that time and put it somewhere else. I actually want to take that time and put it into my personal life. Honestly, it is not an exaggeration to say that Imagen has changed my life. I've had someone do my post-processing for me for the better part of a decade, but with Imagen, there is absolutely no human error because it's been taught. When I shoot a wedding and I come home and I cull through the wedding and I go to bed, I wake up in the morning, they've come back from Imagen, and I could literally deliver next day. It has been probably the biggest game changer for my business that I can think of in the last decade.
Oh man, I hope that you really enjoyed that. I love watching it every time I see it. Susan is fantastic, and that video just nailed her personality perfectly. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's dive into some questions. We have one question actually that came from LinkedIn, which is great because we don't normally get a LinkedIn question. And of course, Restream doesn't see the person's name, but it's okay. It just says LinkedIn user. Okay, how do we give you the go-ahead to update our profile? Last time we had to ask you how to do it, or to do it. Do we still have to do that, or is it automatic? We've been uploading updated libraries for some time. Okay, so right now you still it's semi-automated. Basically, we are doing it on a monthly basis, going through and regularly updating profiles that are ready to go. If we have not gotten to yours yet, then you would actually have to send an email to support if you think that you are ready for it and it hasn't happened yet. Definitely send an email to support. You just go to support.imagenai.com. I'll throw that up on the screen right here. Just go to support.imagenai.com. Ask them to update your profile with the, for the fine tunes. Again, we are still working on fully automating it. It is a process we want to make sure is done correctly, not just spit it out fast, because if we fully automate fine tunes and rush it and something goes wrong, obviously that's not good for you. So right now we are still manually pushing those through and verifying things are good until we get the AI in the back end to get where we want it to be with automating that process. So great question. I appreciate it. If you have more questions, please definitely send them in. I'm going to get to 2 others. I only have 2 pre-submitted questions, and then I'm going to demonstrate something and talk about something else. So please get your questions in if you have them so that I can make sure I get to them. Okay. So just this morning, Carissa asked, is there a way to share profiles, or will there be eventually? So I have 2 answers. One is we are exploring 2 areas of profile sharing. The first is what we are calling associate accounts. So basically, if you are a photographer that has 10 associate photographers working under you, then the ability for your associate photographers to basically access your profile without being able to mess with fine tuning, without being able to mess with billing or anything that's super, super important for your business. So that would just give them the ability to edit photos that they've photographed for you and your business with your profile. But that's it. It won't give them the ability to do anything else. So we're exploring that as one area. And the other is with no official name. I'm just currently calling it Imagen Community Sharing. It's the ability to share your profile with other Imaginers. This is a particularly sensitive area, of course, because this is something where this is your editing style. This is your livelihood in a way. This is very personal to you. And we also want to make sure it's done safely, securely, and it's not just anybody sharing anything. We want to be able to curate it in some way. So we're exploring how that would work. Now, Carissa actually posted this in the Imagen community. So if you're not already in the Imagen community, you can join that. Here is the URL right there. You can join the Imagen community. And Carissa actually posted in there. And our project manager has responded to this as well and is looking for more feedback. So if you have any requests about this specific question, now's a great time to get those answers in. So that way our product manager can go through and see what direction to go with it, right? Okay, so let me see. I got some more comments. Let me just mark off that I answered this one. Okay. Any advice on building, from Stephanie, any advice on building a profile for someone who doesn't have a bunch of Lightroom catalogs saved from previous work? Yes, I do. Yeah, basically, my suggestion would be to start with a talent profile that is closely similar to your editing style. Basically, run off, 5,000 edits and then adjust them to more of your liking. So basically, you're doing 5,000 edits with a talent profile. You're making some fine-tune adjustments to them. You cannot fine-tune a talent profile, but you can create your own profile based on the photos that you have edited with Imagen using a talent profile and then fine-tuned in Lightroom. So edit with a talent profile, make your edits in Lightroom based on, following the fine tunes, following what Imagen did for you. And then once you have 5,000 or more, submit those as your own personal AI profile. That's what I would do. It's the easiest way to get started with your own personal style. But if we don't have a talent profile that is closely similar to your own editing style, obviously that won't work. So in that case, it's just a matter of doing more photos, more jobs, and sending them off. I mean, another option is, let's say you did a wedding and you only edited 300 photos, which is fairly common for a wedding. You could go back to that wedding and edit all the bad ones, because in the case of building a profile, it doesn't matter if the photo is good or bad. It could be eyes closed. It could be, a little soft, a little blurred. It doesn't matter. If the editing style is the same, you could just go through and do that. So you might actually have 5,000. You just may not have already edited 5,000 currently. So your option B is going back to your archives of what you have and editing the ones that were not your picks, so to speak. Okay. Great question, Stephanie. So you're very welcome. Excuse me. Let me just take a quick. As a personal side note, I am testing for my next belt level in karate. I am currently a purple belt. Then comes brown, then comes black. I am going to be testing for a brown belt very soon. So I am completely exhausted because last night was a very difficult class. I am testing like September 22nd, I think. So the next month for me is going to be very physically draining. So I am quite tired. So I apologize if I'm like gasping for air. Okay. I had one more question. That's not really a question, but it is, but it isn't. It's going to be me demonstrating something. But we've had a lot of questions come in about how, like, photographers that historically have one giant catalog. That I'm in that boat, right? I historically have had one giant catalog. And Lightroom definitely slows down when you have a massive catalog. And in turn, it also makes third-party software also slow down, like Imagen, if you have a massive catalog. Now, we are doing everything we can to speed that up using caching and different things. But if you, because a lot of people have asked this question, if you are interested in seeing how to take a massive catalog and separate into smaller catalogs, that's what I'm about to show you right now. So this was a question that just became fairly common. So I figured, you know what? I've been wanting to do it for my own catalog for a long time. So now's a good time for me to go ahead and do that. Now, I have historically had my photos organized on external drives and in folders that go by the year. I have Lightroom automatically sort that for me by year. And so what I've done already is I actually went to, this is like really old stuff that is just like random things that make no sense. There's a lot of stuff in here that are family photos. I literally have everything in here, so don't mind the chaos. But the 1904, was that? Yeah, 1904. That is just the metadata from some random app or something that it's not accurate. But I basically took everything from 1904 to 2005, and then I put those as a smaller large catalog, and then I did 2006 2010 as another small catalog, and then 2011 to 2015, then 2016 to 2019, and now I want to 2020. Now I want to do 2021 2022 as the new catalog. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Basically, grab whatever folders or collections, because if you can do this with collections too, that you want to export as a new catalog. So I want to export 2001, 2022 to 2021, 2021, 2022. I want to export all of that. This, what is it? 21,519 photos. I want to export as a new catalog. So I'm going to select those two, File, Export as Catalog, and then I'm going to say 2021 to 2022. Now, I am only making it build and include smart previews. I am not including the negatives, and I'm not doing select photos only because I'm doing the full both folders. You can adjust your settings. I'm not moving my raw files. I'm leaving on my external, so I don't want to move those. If I click this, it's actually going to make copies of my raw files and JPEGs, whatever else is in there, and move that to wherever I have my catalog. My catalogs live on my internal drive because that's actually the fastest for Lightroom. So I am only including smart previews because I want smart previews. So that's all you got to do. Export, give it a name, put it where you want it, and include build smart previews, hit export catalog. That's it. It could take like an hour for this to work because it is a slow process, but that is all you have to do. And then you will literally have new catalogs that have all those photos in it, all of them, with the same metadata, with the same edits. Everything will be in place as it is currently in your massive catalog. So there you go. That was a popular question that came in, is basically how to go from splitting a large catalog into a smaller one. That is how you do it. All right. I don't see any other questions. This might be a fairly short live stream because there's no other questions. This is the first one back from my vacation, so I was not expecting it to be a very, very popular one, but it's okay. I'm going to talk about something I talked about right before I went away on vacation, and that is culling. I know that a lot of people are asking about culling still. You can still sign up for the Imagen culling beta. All right. We're going to talk about the Imagen culling beta right now. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. Okay. So, as you know, Imagen initially set out to help photographers spend more of their time, talent, and energy doing what they love by modernizing their editing workflow. And we are continuing to leverage cutting-edge AI technology, proprietary AI technology, because I know a lot of people have been asking if we're using other companies' algorithms. No, we build it all ourselves. And so we continue to leverage cutting edge proprietary AI technology to help photographers get some of their precious time back. As you know, that's what we are all about. Hence, our new tagline, Focus on What You Love. Hence, our new documentary series, Focus on What You Love, and so on. Now, using our proprietary algorithms and based on interviews and user testing and lots of data points, we have formulated an innovative approach for culling that will optimize and speed up photographers' workflows and post-production process. And the beta release is set for fall of 2022. And if you're thinking about that, yes, that's right around the corner. So for those asking when it's coming, fall of 2022, it is right around the corner. So please be sure to sign up for culling beta now if you want to be considered for the beta. So you will be able to cull and edit your photos easily, efficiently, and using one software, reducing your post-production time by up to 75%. And we hope to see that even increase over time. So we're going to have flexible reviewing options that are actually not within the app. It's actually going to be reviewing options in your Lightroom catalog. So you'll be able to review them in Lightroom. And you'll be able to export your culls as XMP files, sidecar files, or if they're a DNG raw file, then it might be like a in file, like embedded XMP. But basically, you'll have XMP files, and that means you could review your culled images in Photo Mechanic, in Adobe Bridge, wherever it is that you review your culls. No matter what, you have the flexible options right out of the gate. So with that, this is what it's going to look like in the app when you first open it up and see that there's culling. You're going to see this beautiful screen showing that. This is what it looks like when you go to choose stars as your set desired culling method. You know, there are going to be color labels, there's going to be stars. This is what it looks like with stars, and you also have the option to choose if you want to review them. There's results in Lightroom Catalog or XMP. And finally, this is what it looks like when you go to download your culled photos and review them in Lightroom, or the button would actually just say like open folder or open Photo Mechanic, depending on what is going on. Really cool stuff in the works. I'm very excited about it. I can't share much more yet, but as time goes by, I will share more when I can. Stephanie, where do you sign up for the beta? I've got it up on the screen right there. imagenai.com/culling. You can sign up for the beta right there. Now, I don't have anything else today. So if there are any other questions, now's the time to ask your questions. I'll give it another 2-3 minutes. And if questions don't come in, we'll wrap it up. If you're interested in knowing who the next video is in our documentary series, Focus on What You Love, it's Fur Juristi. I'm very excited. It's a fantastic video. I learned so much about fur in this video, and it is in Spanish. So there's that. So hopefully the Spanish viewers, Spanish-speaking viewers will be able to, follow along nicely. It will be on YouTube with English subtitles. So if you do want to follow along, in English of what Fur is saying, that will be available on YouTube next week, on Monday, actually, the 29th. So I'm very excited about that. Any final questions? If you have any final questions, now's a great time to ask. Otherwise, if you think of a question that you want to ask for next week's live stream, you could go ahead and do that. Here is the link to pre-submit your questions for any live stream, and we get to it every single week. I get to the pre-submitted questions, and I answer everything that we possibly can. If you ask about culling, I may not have more answers for you depending on what the question is, because I can't talk about too much just yet. With that said, I don't see any other questions, so we're going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in live. Thank you, anybody who watched this live stream. I hope you enjoyed Susan's video. I hope you enjoyed this little demo on how to separate your large catalog into smaller catalogs. And I hope that you enjoyed the little culling sneak peek. And until next week, we'll see you then.